Okay, so this is the second part of my movie suggestion Friday series. This is the series in which each Friday I suggest one good, one very good, and one excellent movie in the form of a small review. First movie I will talk about today is Guardians of the Galaxy. This gets a good movie mark, and why is that? Like, I know that in this world there are many Marvel fans, and I'm a Marvel fan myself, but the Guardians of the Galaxy, although very well acted and very well I would say directed. He had some screenplay problems that I'll touch in a second, but first what I like also. I like that this movie really had a really interesting color palette because Marvel movies has this fashion of basically looking kinda ugly for me, honestly. At least this older Marvel movies, not like Infinity War and Thor Ragnarok, but they were looked really nice. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy that times really like sticked out from the rest. And Guardians is the movie that started this fashion of picking like almost unknown characters for the casual, like for the casual people outside of this comic book fandom. Of course, I'm thinking about these people, myself included, and creating them basically in superstar characters. You know, like now these days everybody knows about Groot and Rocket and Drax, but yeah, that's what this movie did interesting for comic book genre at least. But my biggest complaint for this movie is in the screenplay and the basic incapability of this movie to make me feel for its characters. Like, I care for Groot and Rocket honestly, but they're side characters. But the Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, I never really cared about their like, I guess, more dramatic scenes, and that's the bummer because they have the very big portion of this movie because Peter Quill is basically our main character. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is for me a good movie, but pretty formulated Marvel movie, if you will. You know, like cool action, like funny, but with no real consequences and with kinda not so good drama. And next movie I'll talk about is The Dogman. This gets a very good movie mark. This is an Italian movie that I had pleasure of seeing in my town, in the festival in my town a couple weeks ago. Dogman follows the story of a man in one small town. He works in this kind of dog shop, and the relationship between him and his daughter, his friends, but specifically the relationship with one criminal in this town that is like affects him so much, and that is the central story of our movie basically. This movie had a pretty good directing, pretty good screenplay, pretty good cinematography. Everything was pretty good, but it had one excellent thing, and that is Marcelo Fonte, who did such a great job uh, creating this character, because our main character in this movie is really a flawed character, you know, like he's kind of what you would call a weak, almost like he looks very weak for us as the viewers, but he is still sympathetic because Marcelo brought it like this. I won't say humble characteristics almost. I don't know really how to say it, but yeah, he's almost humble, but he's still weak. And but by the end of the movie, he's a different character, and that's most thanks to the actor. Like, the actor was the main thing that this movie had. The only thing I really didn't like this movie was the ending. Like, it was one of those symbolism ending, you know, and yeah, I understood the symbolism, but I would like to see the real thing also, like the real end of the story, his story with his daughter and his friends, for example. But okay, like, this is what we got, and this gets a very good movie mark. And the excellent movie of this week is The Children of Men. This is for me one of the most underrated movies of all the time. It's probably one sci-fi movie with the most interesting form of apocalypse that I ever seen on a big screen. I will not spoil it for you, but don't spoil it for yourself also, because it's really much more interesting if you go in this movie blind, totally blind. Uh, as I said, go watch it immediately now, the best. But like, that concept of apocalypse is really, really interesting, and the how the people are dealing with that kind of situation is what, like, the driving force of this movie. Like, this is very touching and very human story, you know, and that's what the most powerful scenes in this movie is the simple message about the humanity as a whole. And yeah, that is what I really liked. Like all the actors did pretty and some even great job. Like Klein Owen is plays our main character, and this is his best performance as far as I saw him in movies. Michael Caine is also in this movie. He's very good. Juliana Moore and so on, all pretty good performances. As I said, very human, very touching story, and one very underrated story that deserves much more attention. And I hope you will be able to check it out. And that's it for this episode. I hope I'll do one episode on True Detective Season 3, and that I'll be able to do one video on True Detective Season 3 before next Friday, but we'll see. So have a good day and bye.